Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus giving you guys more than the meta. So guys, I want to show you a game where I took a loss. Matter of fact, the first half of the game, I'm just getting destroyed by this guy. He's ice cold on offense, got away with a couple of lucky plays. Puts me in a 21 skunk situation, but because I want to be a better player, I want to be a player that's going to be more efficient, and as I'm labbing out these new schemes, these defensive schemes, I've got to figure out when I'm running against elite players on how to make adjustments and how to basically force my opponent to make some misreads. So. I did have some learning experiences in this particular game. I'm just going to be strictly defense. I'm going to show you what I'm doing against this guy's scheme. I think this guy had a custom book based on all the formations he used. He was using, I think he used maybe about 7 or 8 different formations or more than that. And he caught me in a lot. He caught me in positions where he knew that he had leverage positions, and because he's got some really fast wide receivers, he was able to go and expose me over the top. So I'm using a dime defense out of the Cleveland Browns. As you can see, this guy is ranked 2154 in the country with a little bit over 800 games underneath his belt. I'm using dime Cleveland, the rush and the normal defense, and I'm going to be jumping into different plays. There's a couple new plays that I put into the scheme. One in particular that I'll be focusing on to kind of show you guys how I did this. How I was actually using these schemes against this opponent. So he's obviously got the Kansas City Chiefs, and with the Chiefs, it's essentially a situation where you've got really good wide receivers. You've got an awesome tight end, which he exposes me with Kelsey, and then you actually have some fairly fast running backs too. He quickly abandoned the run after the first play of the game. He didn't really come back to the run too much, and a lot of times I was able to shoot the gaps. But you could see he no huddles once again into a bunch formation. I'm just staying with a basic, match cover 4, and right there he actually hits me right here in this spot right here. That was my responsibility. I just got out to it late. I was trying to get into the box to try to take away any kind of a run, but he quickly snaps, and he runs these plays stock for the most part. It's kind of exposed me with a quick snap like that. So quarters against Seattle, which essentially is 4 verts. Now he jumps into basically a situation where he's got a tight set. He takes this guy, puts him onto the flat, and I think he has some routes going up like so. And I'm still playing the box. This is a bad decision by me. I shouldn't have been in the box like this. I should have got out to the 3rd wide receiver. One of the things I do in cover 4, when I've got 3 receivers to one side, I'll go ahead and put a hook zone with this defender, and I'm just going to go ahead and use this guy to just watch for any kind of crossing routes over the middle. And I didn't make that adjustment because I think what he was doing on offense is he ran a lot of stock plays, a quick snap before I can make any kind of adjustments, and kind of expose me. So right here actually hits the flat route. With this route right here, I'm out of position. I'm completely out leveraged in that type of situation, and he's able to go and turn it up. And then a couple of run passes, broken tackles situation, he gets the ball down. He actually gets a nice a 13-14 yard gainer in that type of situation. So it's a good situation for him to be able to do that. Now he comes back to the same play, but he's got it flipped on the other side. So now I jump into basically a variation. I was running a lot of cover 2 match. I've got hard flats out here with the anticipation he'll try to throw that flat route again. And I've got these guys right here in vert hooks. Basically, the vert hooks are going to carry with any kind of a seam route. And then I'm going to use her right here in this type of situation. Now, that was a bad decision by me. I shouldn't be using like this when I've got basically empty set. I should getting myself a little bit more leverage off here to the right. But I'm keying into his 3rd wide receiver, which if you are playing any kind of a match cover 2 coverage, you have to play the 3rd player. So what's interesting about this guy is that he sees these safeties down low. I've got a vert hook that's supposed to defend the seam, but look what happens when he plays this play right here. See how these guys are lined up. He's throwing the ball. He's already got the ball out. So he basically determined that I'm going to go ahead and throw the seam regardless. Whatever, it doesn't make a difference in what happens in the back end of this play. I'm throwing the seam with the expectation that I'm going to be able to hit it over the top because the safety's down in the box. And that's how I like to run my defense, because I want to make sure I take away the run. But because he's in this type of basically five wide type situation, there's no reason to have my safeties down. So that's one of the things that as you realize as you develop a defense, is that you have to, if you see 5 wide, you're not going to go ahead and run these type of plays where you're bringing these guys down. You're gonna basically make sure that those safeties are playing deep, opposed to coming down in the box. He throws a perfect pass. I click on to try to take this away. This guy's 93 speed, but he's able to go and just catch the ball right over the top of me and actually get his first touchdown of the game. So bad situation for me. Good read by him. He was very deliberate. He threw right into that coverage. He didn't even get past. He threw the ball before he got past my guys. So it wasn't like he waited for that. He knew exactly where he was going to go, pre-snap with the reads. And he saw, I don't know if he saw the cover 2 and stuff like that, but you could see he's got the hitch seams with the play set up. All right, so right here, I try to do the similar situation. I've got a step on this guy right here. I've got this guy trailing. This safety's playing in the middle of the field on offense. I take a shot up top. He clicks on and somehow just speed burst, gets in front of me and gets interception. So these are the type of things that this guy was doing. He was getting breaks on defense, and my guys were not getting speed bursts and getting a flip on it. It could be his user ability. Maybe this guy knows how to click on and actually take advantage, user his guys better than me. Whatever. He did a really good job. So back to the Eagle H slot 5 wide situation. So back to this once again. We've got our 3rd wide receivers right here. You've got this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. I've got 3 guys to these 2 wide receivers. So really, what I want to be doing is I want to be watching this side of the field so I can get a 4th receiver over there. So bring the guys down to the box. Should be pressing. He's done a lot of flat stuff, so I went ahead and did hard flats out here, just so I can take away any kind of a quick route to the outside. And then I'm going to use her basically over the middle of the field. And you could see he does a double move right here in this type of situation. I think, did I drop a guy back in coverage? Yeah, there's basically 4 guys out here. So what I did is I actually did a hook zone off the edge right here to try to get get another guy in the area. He takes a shot up top, and he catches the ball right over my safety. So it was the whole thing about me pressing his safeties. He just kept hitting it. When I was bringing my safeties down, he's just going to take a shot up top. He's seeing my coverages. He doesn't believe I'm going to be able to get my guys back in time, and he's actually exposing to the coverages right here. So you can see quickly after I got exposed over the top, I think what I did is actually press my guys down in this type of situation, because obviously I don't want to give these safeties up anymore. So that's why I went ahead and got away from that coverage. And I think I'm going to drop a hook zone. See, this guy drops back into a hook zone right here. So that's going to basically just give me a smaller area of the field that I've got to work as far as my user is concerned, because this hook zone is going to kind of carry to the outside with these coverages. So right here, basically he's I have to use her, the hook zone kind of falls off, and I have to use her this route right over the middle if he comes back around. And sure enough, he gets leverage against me. I don't get any of those crazy animations that he was getting where he was just running through my guys and he catches the ball right in front of me. So that was one of those plays where he got away with one. Typically in these type of situations, Madden should, if you throw to a user is in the vicinity and he's smashing his catch ball stuff, that should be given back to defensive players. So he got away with this type of stuff against me. Once again, he knows no huddles. I think I'm going to drop this guy into hook zone. Is one of my quick adjustments. Let's see if I get that up. Okay, so you see how I've got the hook zone up. I want to go ahead and have I want to have 4 guys basically blanking this area right here. So he's going to have to get routes that are going to come back over to get away from these extra leverage right here. And my job, because I'm blitzing right now, is just to kind of take away this box right here. So basically this area right here, with the hope he's gonna try to flood that. So back at it again. He does a little out route. This guy carries up. This guy's carrying over. This route was actually wide open. Whatever he did on this type of situation was wide open. But look at this route. He has an out route right here. This man should match with it. And actually he just throws right into the coverage and gets leverage. So Kelsey is a problem. He's a problem when you play, in the game when you're playing regs. He's someone that's basically going to get leverage. He's got the size. He's going to beat you over the side. I don't necessarily. I like that. I like that coverage. I'm not going to get away from that because there was plenty of guys that were playing those routes. It wasn't like he blew me away, but you can see he's running these plays stock. He's pretty much running everything stock. Saints slant flood. So this is a Saints playbook. This guy has a master custom playbook. That's why he's got so much depth. So back at it again, right here. I went with this particular play. This is basically it's a free fire, a Foxfire cover 3. This is something I just added into my scheme just because I like the match principles. So this guy's going to match. He's going to match. I've got a matcher route right here. The safety is going to come down and match. And then I've got myself a 3 rec over on this side. Now the pressure comes off the edge right here, and I'm going to use her this side, and I'm just going to go ahead and play over on this side, knowing that pretty much this whole side is locked up. So watch the pressure right here. So I'm watching Kelsey. He keeps feeding the ball to Kelsey, and Kelsey's getting away with some animations. So I'm actually underneath Kelsey right here. And you could see this guy's dropping back in the zone. Well, I don't know what the hell happened with this dude, but watch, the edge pressure is off the edge past the corner, the lineman, and I'm able to go ahead and get a nice little sack right there. So first time I got a break against this guy offensively right here. I get him into a 3rd and 11 type situation. So he went into another play, a completely different play. He wasn't spamming the same stuff. Now I've got a bunch set in this type of coverage. I jump into cover 6. But I flip the play, and as you can see, I've got the play. He snaps the ball. So I've got a soft squat out here to go ahead and take away any kind of a flat route. I got a seam route, and then I've got a deep half. This area of the field can get exposed if he waits long enough. And then I'm going to do my 3 rec to take, basically take any kind of guy that crosses over in these areas. Another thing to do probably in this type of situation, because essentially I've got two wide receivers on this side of the field with these 2 guys right here. Probably my best bet with this adjustment is to go ahead and put this guy into a 3rd over here, because I'm not really going to get exposed up in the seams. I've got matching concepts going over like that, so it's probably your best bet. But look what happens. He throws a flat. Because I've got a soft squat out there, he actually comes down and plays it correctly. So I put this guy into 4th and 6. And he goes into double post. Just another play. These are one of these common money plays that you see a lot of the top players use online. So he goes into another variation of this a bunch play. Now I think I'd go ahead and use this cover 3 play right here. And I realize I've got to play the seam. I'm playing the seam right here. This guy's falling back into this zone. But I'm locked in on Kelsey. I know this Kelsey is the guy he's been going to this entire first series. And right here, the guy actually comes up. He's got this crossing route that just got passed off to this guy. This was the hot read. There was nobody out there. He doesn't throw it, but he throws it right to freaking Kelsey. Look at this animation. That's the spot right here. I'm smashing my button right in this type of situation. You can see the animation going on, and look what happens with this here play. He just cuts me off and gets the ball in the end zone. So frustrating when stuff like that happens. He's going with more vertical concepts, running these plays stock. Extremely frustrating to have something like that happen against you. And when these guys Superman over you. Now, I got rid of this ball early. It should have been a little bit later, but this guy was basically getting Superman plays over me. That's what happens when you play against the best team in Madden, statistically overall. You got to play a Super Bowl team. You're going to give up BS plays like this type, on backside, on both sides of the field. You're going to get those type of BS plays. And you have to play super, super good because you have the computer going against you. And I know, it's the player, it's a scheme over the team, but I've thrown these passes before against other players, and I'm able to go ahead and get rid of that, take care of that stuff and not take penalties. All right, so now this is a play that actually I saw a couple times as I was cutting this video. Back at it, I've got to press my guys up because he's willing to take shots up against me. I got these guys pressed down, but I need to go ahead and have these guys pressed up because or pressed back because he's taking shots over the top. I throw up a hook zone over here just so I've got basically these guys. I've got a nice box right here. I've got a 4-on-3. And if the running back goes out, I've got matching principles on this backside right here. So my job is to try to defend anything that comes from the hook into this area. This is going to be essentially my box, my user box right here. And if he hits me on the outside, I'll take that risk. But I want to see if he can throw into me in this type of situation. Right here, this guy's locked up. He's got like another route right here locked up. This route, this little crossing route is over. He's got two safeties playing the steep post. So basically what he has is he's got an out route. He's got a corner, which seems to be the smart route to do. And then he's got a deep post over here. Look what he does. He takes a shot up top. I've got a safety that moves off. This guy's taking away the corner route. And this guy, Flowers, is falling back into the zones. This is frustration to me because this is the type of situation where you should be getting an interception and this guy should be penalized for making the decision to throw into basically practically double coverage right there. I don't. It's frustrating to me when stuff like this happens where this guy is like doing Superman stuff over the top of you. He's making some pretty bad decisions for the most part, and you're not actually going ahead and penalizing him for making bad decisions. So back at it again. That should have been an interception based on his reads and the length of this. He should have never took a shot back there. That was that was just a bad play. So right here I go into the cover 3 again. So basically I know this is all boxed up on this side. I've got 4 guys playing into zone drops. My responsibility is to look to Kelsey and take away essentially anything in this particular area. Because I've got the safety coming down and playing the seam and coming down into the flat. So that's my responsibility. Got the free rec hook. Get a little bit smarter on my leverage right here. He actually blocks Kelsey, I think. And now, as you could see, this ball comes down. This guy's going to come down and play that. I've got the hook zone that carries, and I've got to go ahead and take this route over the top. He doesn't know where to go with it, and then gets away with a lucky animation. This should have been another sack right here, but he gets away with that all-star MVP animations. And I receive those too when I'm using Burrow, so I can understand why he's using Mahomes because that type of stuff. He gets away with that type of stuff. So does a shallow cross. I read it correctly. He did block his tight end, but conceptually got away with one right there. So right back at it again. 3rd down type of situation. This is a high pressure situation. I'm going to go ahead and send a blitz his way. My responsibility is to match up to Kelsey. Kelsey's my responsibility. That's the guy I got to go after. I probably needed help on this just because I'm not getting the users. I've never had great user to begin with, but you can see right here, he's cutting in. I'm going to go ahead and trail with him. And look at this. What happens with my feet? This should be interception in this type of situation. And you could see I just get myself out of position. He catches the ball right over me and just carries it on down the end zone right there. Just stiff arming people and stuff like that, trying to get the ball down. So that should have been an interception. Didn't smash correctly. This is a pretty good series right here. I think he does a cross buck. Once again, I'm going with the aggressive blitz. This is out of frustration more than anything else because I had 2 bad plays on offense, and this guy's completely penalizing me. But he's also penalizing me by catching the ball in the red zone, or basically, he's penalizing me because he's just getting away with some really crazy animations on the backside. Go with the blitz again. I'm anticipating him to try to run the ball out, to try to run the clock. He does a great play right here. I didn't pass commit, and what happens is this would have been a sack, but because I didn't pass commit, my guys pull up, don't go after the quarterback, and as a result, he's able to go and hit me in the backside right there and get a touchdown. So that was just a bad decision by me not to pass commit. But I was assuming that he's going to essentially go ahead and basically run, try to chew up some of the clock, get his 21 going into the end zone. But this guy had he had a bunch of play. This guy he's definitely using custom book, and he knows his plays. So he was just sprinkling a lot of different stuff right here. So look at the score. I was able to go and score 2 touchdowns in a row, basically in the end of the half and then the very beginning of the half. But I've used the clock down a lot. I spent about 5 minutes of clock. So all I need to do is get 1 stop against this guy. So he goes into a situation where he's got basically a bunch set right here, running back. I'm anticipating now is that this guy's going to try to start chewing the clock down from me, because when you give up, when you're up 21 and then all of a sudden it becomes a game again, he's probably thinking I need to milk the clock a little bit. So that I once again press my guys down in this type of situation with the anticipation that he might try running the ball. And with said, I jump into cover 6. He's not really going to get that great of a tell against cover 6 with the bunch. So a spread offense is going to show him basically a tell. He does make an adjustment, and I've got some edge pressure that caught up on this guy. So, but take a look at this. I've got basically myself, and I've got 4 defenders over here. He's got 2 routes going over. This guy's over the top. This has got to be an interception. Has to be an interception. There's no way it cannot be interception. He throws up, and right here, whatever happens, the ball gets knocked out. It's complete BS, man. I've had multiple plays right here. So he's like 10 of 13 with 3 touchdowns, just lobbing balls up. I've got 4 defenders in the area, and they're not coming down with the ball. It's one of the most frustrating things ever, and that's like the Madden BS. Guys, tell me, do you know how to do stuff like that? How I'm not getting any kind of like animations like that? Why isn't that ball coming into my hands? Is beyond me. So he goes back to the bunch again. I go hit him with the cover 3 blitz off the edge. So this side is pretty much covered up, and I would say if I was to run this again, I'd probably flip this play. I'd probably rather have the blitz coming off of this side, and then I've got the hook zone. I've got basically four defenders playing the bunch side, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the blitz, and I'm just going to look for someone that's going to try to come over the middle. Right here, I see this route right here, this route. And I've got this guy coming underneath it, and I've got a defender over the top. I've got this defender over the top. I'm trailing with Kelsey, but I see this guy coming underneath it, so I pull off, and he forces it right over the top. Is that the perfect read, or is it just him getting lucky? I don't know, because I pulled down because I figured this guy was going to cross over, and this guy kind of gets flat because it's a hook zone. This guy's carrying. It was so frustrating. And look at this. He throws the ball right into that guy and catches it and comes down with it. So really, really frustrating. He knows he got away with one. He no huddles. I go ahead and set the defense up again. I should have had this defensive flipped. Running back actually is a screen play. So this guy had to have a super custom. Had to be super custom. Like, he wasn't spending a lot of time setting things up. He had a super custom. Get edge pressure off here, and I'm able to go and stop him. So this guy's just dotted me up with a super custom, but I'm able to go ahead and get some pressure off the edge right there. So slip screen in that scheme that he's using. It's not like he had that set up. So once again, I'm running. I like to run this offense where I bring these guys down in the box. Here's another bad decision, but I think this is a tell. He's got basically 1, 2, 3, and then he's got 4. Okay, so this is a quad set. You've got quads, off to this side. I need 5 defenders out here. 5 defenders to stop this stuff. So I should have like 5 defenders out here. I should be putting this guy into like a flat zone or a hook zone with my adjustments. And I've got a user, and I probably my best bet is to go ahead and take this guy and man him up on this guy over the left side. So it just gives me just more people over here with this coverage. I jump into cover 6, and in this type of situation, my guy slides out. Look at this, real subtle, slides out. This guy slides in with the cover 6 adjustment. So this is a very subtle adjustment, but this is when you're playing against really good players. They're going to see stuff like this. So cover 6, that guy slide out, the other guy slid in. Look at the quarterback making adjustments. This guy's making adjustments right now. I've got these safeties down in the box. I should be pressing these. I should be pushing these guys back and pressing the coverage. But I got dumb. This is a bad decision. I want to show you how he exposed my defense. Look at this. This area is wide open. He read this. He saw the guy slide out. He saw the safety that was down in the box and not up to support. He saw this guy sliding in. He's got basically these 2 guys are wide open. He's got a crossing route that's going over the middle of the field. I have to chase this stuff. I've got to go ahead and defend the quads, but there's nobody on this area right here, and I jumped in the wrong defense. I should have never been in this defense. And look what he does. He just throws the ball right over the top of my coverage. Read it perfectly. And makes the adjustment. So this is a hitch route. He streaked it up. He read it. He left the play. He read it. I think he might have went ahead and set up his coverage, but he saw it and he read it correctly and he made the right decision. So good read by him. The guy knows how to read coverages. One of the things I do like about my coverage is that I do that. This is another lucky play. The guy had leverage. Somehow he was able to go and figure out how to cut my ball or whatever. So he was getting away with stuff on defense that I could not get away with, and he was catching balls over the top of me. Very frustrating game. I know you guys might be thinking, okay, he made really good decisions, but he's also getting away with it. Here's another situation that I want you guys to take a look at. I'm running cover 4. I've got to press. I can't give the over the top ball. The guy basically psychologically mind effed me, because what he was doing is he started off the game attacking the flats, and then he was able to force me to go ahead and he would start throwing over the top of my coverages. So when you have someone who does something to you early on in the game, like, it never leaves you. It's like it scars you. So right here, I'm going with cover 4. Here's my coverage adjustment. I go ahead and do a zone drop where I'm dropping this guy into a hook zone, a vert hook. I'm using basically this, basically from this hash to over here is my box that I've got a user. This guy should lock up deep. He's going to lock up, go to the flat, push off to this guy. And if this guy comes over the middle of the field, I've got support over here if there's no double verticals on this side. So watch what happens with this particular play. I think this is the play that he actually does some type of adjustment. So he's doing an adjustment right now. I don't know what he's doing, but I think what happens... okay, so this is basically me doing some run fits. So one of the reasons I like to have my guy over the center, and why I was kind of doing that deliberately, is that what happens is the center will actually go ahead and double team the tackle. And these edge defenders, giving me kind of a free look into the end zone. So basically, if he's going to run the ball, he's going to have to run towards my user, and I'm going to be able to go ahead and get a free shot I get some lucky leverage right here on the outside. I think that's where my strong safety's at. And right here, he's got nowhere to go with it. I'm able to go and bottle him up for a losser. So he couldn't really run against me. Right here, once again, I show him the same type of look. I'm going to go into cover 4. Go into cover 4. I'm going to do a hook zone. So I'm going to drop this guy into hook zone because I've got 3 guys over here that's going to give me some extra pass support. This, I think, is where he makes this weird adjustment. Let me see if this is it. Okay, this has got to be it. I think this is where... Okay, see these guys sliding in? I didn't do that. I don't know what this guy was doing to force my guys to slide in like that. He made some type of adjustment on offense to get my guys to slide in. I don't know what he did. But he does. He comes back to this again later on in the game and gets my guys out of position. So this guy's going to get a free release over the top against this guy. I think this is this might be Hardman. It's like 97 speed. So what he did something because he comes back to it again. He makes some type of adjustment. You can see how this guy's coming. He's coming up, manned up on this guy. I got this guy slide in. I think he's doing an out or something like that. Running back route is a little angle route. That kind of takes away any kind of an out route. And my job is to go ahead and play this angle route. But look, he's just taking shots up top. So he's going up here to take a shot up. These guys are matched, stride for stride. But once I click on, my guy falls back. I don't know. Maybe it's my user ability, but in this type of situation, it's so frustrating. Fortunately for me, I get a break up against him, but that could have been another touchdown. Somehow he was able to go ahead and get my guys to slide over and give him a free release. So really frustrating to see that. So back at it again. Goes for the hook. Or the route right here. I come down. I think what happens is I just go ahead and just use coverages over the top. Come down with baits to go ahead and take that away and get a tackle. Get him in a 4th and 5 situation. Finally get him a 4th and 5. Now I actually send the dogs after him. I'm getting beat over the top. It didn't really make much of a difference. I probably should have manned these guys off. I've got to take care of the running back. I've got the edge pressure coming off. These guys are going over the top, over the top, over the top. So he's just running verticals basically. But he's forcing it to this running back right here. He doesn't know where to go. I've got leverage against him. And right here I actually go ahead and hit him in the backfield for the first time ever. So give the ball back to him again. Actually 28-21. So I'm down by a score in this type of situation. I jump into man coverage. In this type of situation, I'm also going to do a hook zone over here to kind of support the results or supports basically the 3 rec, and I've got a middle safety over the middle of the field. But this guy just was dumbing out my corners. So they're one-on-one, even. Corner flipped. He's just throwing right over me. So frustrating, just so frustrating. Like they had to have like a deep safety to be able to stop. I had to put a safety out there to stop this. But the problem is that the way this guy ran his scheme is that he was hitting me in the flats first, forcing me to go ahead and take care of stuff underneath, and then he's just stretching things over the top. So really difficult. He never got penalized for some of the bad decisions that he was making. I did. Just really frustrating. So back at it again right here. Now I'm going running cover 2. Got the safety support in this type of situation. Able to go ahead and get him down. Not even stop him. I can't run with this. Jumps into quads. So usually quads, you're going to have stuff like this. You might have a guy do a comeback or whatever, but they're all coming over the middle of the field. So the dime package, you don't necessarily have any kind of a play to use. I think if I do this all over again, I might want to drop a hook zone maybe man this guy up, and then user this dude over, slide him over, playing that. Because if the guy does a slant route, I'm kind of in the passing lane, and then I'm just going to go ahead and take a trail route over this. That's probably what I'm going to do with it. Right here, throws. I take the trailer. He throws right over the top of this guy right here. He gets the ball in the end. Or gets the ball right there. So he takes a timeout. So he's labbing against me. You know what I mean? In this type of situation too. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and show him the same type of stuff. I got the zone dropping back. He's got this trailer. He got this guy's going right here. And he's taking a shot up top, even in the coverage. Just like he's just getting away with stuff right here. So Hill's chasing. And right here, I'm able to go in. That should have been a pickoff. Should have been interception. Should have been interception. But this guy was just getting away with murder offensively. So right here, I go into the blitz off the edge. I've got a hook zone that's going to come over here. I've got to go ahead and take care of this fast throwing lane right here. So once again, throwing that drop down, and he throws right into this area. Look how many seconds are on the clock. 17. Finally, I get a freaking user pick against this guy. Threw to me 4,000 a dozen times. Every single throw was at my user practically. And I finally get a pick off. Just so frustrating. I was able to go and plug the ball in the end zone. But this was basically a pretty ugly game, for the most part. So once again, guys, thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. If you do like these breakdowns, please go ahead and hit the like and the button. Let me know. And if you've ever ran into somebody that has shifted your defensive players with adjustments, let me know. So thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.